Hey everyone, doing another alcohol basics with a technique I'm rather fond of. Playing with some masking fluid out of a pen. Hang on tight and I'll walk you through it. Hey everyone, so we're going to play with some masking fluid. This particular stuff comes out of a very thin pen and it allows you to do some fine line work. You can also do some shapes and fill them in. It's a little harder with a fine pen. I mean, just imagine, making a big shape and filling it in with a ballpoint pen. It'll take a while. But when you open up your imagination, maybe combine some techniques together, anything is possible. So I'm going to show you how to use this. And I also want to show you this. Is a lot of the times when I work with alcohol ink, especially with this masking fluid, I do these on these pre-gessoed boards that I get from Jerry's Artorama. And I really, really like them. They come in a couple different thicknesses. You can get them super thick. But these boards, they're ultra smooth. They come out just really, really nice. And then of course I put a UV resin over top of my alcohol inks just to give it that extra protection and stuff. So anyway, that's done. Now I get to show you the other fun stuff. So hang on, and let me put this off to the side here. Trying to do this one-handed and seem graceful, sometimes it's tricky. Okay, so we have this little panel here, which I have already put in some lines just to get it started. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this up in the little holder here and we'll do a couple more lines. So let me zoom in. And you can see how easy this is. Okay. So this stuff here, I get this off of Amazon. I believe Blick Art Supply also carries it. I'm not sure about Jerry's Artorama, but you can definitely get it on Amazon. And it has a very, very fine point. And in the cap, there's a little pin that goes inside the point. Very important to make sure that as soon as you're done with applying this masking fluid, to put the cap on and make sure that the point goes into, or the pin goes into the point. Because this area right in here, it'll get clogged up pretty easy because this stuff dries pretty fast. I'm using a lot of pretty there, so it's a pretty cool technique. I'll just throw another one in. Okay, so let's see if I can get to make sure it focuses down here. Okay. All right, so all we're gonna do is literally it's a squeeze bottle. And just squeeze in some lines. Pretty simple. Okay, and the solution does dry up fairly clear. Okay, that was showing some resistance there. Okay, so here, just a close-up on the product. Okay, focus. I think that's, there we go. Just so if you need to look for it later on. Okay, now sometimes I will go and use a dryer to speed up the process of drying. You can see where it is starting to dry up. It's going a little transparent on the edges. In fact, it's going even transparent through the middle of this particular line. The thicker parts of this will take a little bit longer to dry, but I'm going to get this started with a little bit of a dryer here just to help it along. Oops. I would not put the dryer too close. I would definitely have a little bit of distance on it. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for right now, finish drying this off and come back because, well, watching stuff dry is not that exciting. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, I wanted to bring you guys in at an angle. You see the shiny lines? That's the masking fluid. So everywhere where the shiny lines are, you're gonna have this original alcohol ink pattern. And then I'm gonna apply some additional ink, change the colors. Well, we'll just change it up a bit. And then once that dries, then we'll peel it off and you'll see the original. Now the original could be a solid color, it could be white like I showed with the horse, or it could be like another color and then you change it up and you have different colors on the top layer. So in this particular case here, there was a thick area here. I put some heat on it for a little bit, but it's got enough of a skin, I guess you could call it, on top of it that I can easily tap it and nothing comes off on my finger. So at this point, I would feel comfortable putting ink on top of it. So let's get busy with that. All right, and I think what I'm gonna do is maybe add some browns to this so that it really change it up a lot more than what it is right now. So I grabbed a couple Copics because I've got a bunch of brown tones and Copics from when I was doing Erica the Mermaid. I got like so many different skin tones so I could have a huge range. And I got a couple really dark ones for shadows and stuff, so I was prepared. Okay. So let me splash a little bit of alcohol in the background. Maybe zoom in a little bit before I do this. There we go. Hopefully that's not too much. Okay, I'm just throwing some color on there. I'm not that worried about it right now. This is just to show the technique and how it can be helpful. It's another way of doing a resist. I call it resist. I come from, well, I have a lot of art background, but I end up using a lot of these kind of techniques with either fabric painting or painting with, you know, paints, and in this case, alcohol. So alcohol ink and stuff like that. So a lot of the techniques are very similar. We use some type of resist or a way of masking something off. So I'm just kind of moving the colors around for right now. Well, that's a big old brown mess, isn't it? Okay. Hopefully I'm not going to make too much of a mess, but we will try. All right. Get the big blobs off my fingers there. So you can see real quickly how there's a little bit of a texture. That could be kind of fun to play with as far as, you know how when you spray something at an angle, okay, say this is a vertical format and you spray something at a definite angle, you can create a shadow on the other side. So this kind of, if you notice in here, let me bring you in closer. There's a little bit of a shadow from the texture. So you can definitely have some fun like with landscaping and things like that with using this. Or even something else that you can paint on that you can leave in place. That would be fun. Kind of gives it an embossed look. All right, I'm gonna clean up the background area here and underneath real quick, and then we will go as far as removing this masking fluid. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this next step, if I were to do this on one of my boards and I'd create a piece and say like I'm recreating the horse, I would probably go and seal my artwork up with some UV spray, let that dry before I continue on to the next step of removal. And the reason for that is that it kind of seals the ink so that way you don't accidentally transfer any from your fingers to the bottom. So say you wanted to have white lines in there, meaning show the white board below, and you remove this up, you might pick up some of the brown and transfer it to the white area. So something to think about there. But in this case, I'm just showing off what it looks like, and I have to give you a heads up, the peeling's kind of fun. Remember, think about those times when you were in school and you put Elmer's glue on your hands and peeled that up. It's like that. And if you get a lot of lines crossing, sometimes you can pick up whole huge sections. See, it comes up pretty quick. Now this is Yupo paper, so I just wanted to show you that you didn't have to use those pre-gessoed boards. Yupo paper will work really, really well. Now I have not tried this on papers that have a lot of tooth to it. You know, like some watercolor papers will have a lot of tooth to it. But doesn't mean it won't. So give it a try and experiment yourself. Let me know how it works. All right. So I've got some here that are a little bit more solid shapes. Excuse my squeaking. So it comes off pretty easy. So, I mean, you could create simple designs, say like wanted to do a little girl's room and you wanted to draw some stars, or maybe put her name on it, and then create her favorite colors in the dark. So like in this dark area, but have her name and like some white, or maybe it's just a nice contrasty color like a yellow or something like that. And then you had a hot pink in the background. That could do really, really well. I would always recommend doing a resin on top of alcohol ink. It seems like alcohol ink always needs that little extra help for light fastness. In other words, the sun's rays and all that can easily wash away the color. In fact, I've got an experiment, so look for the experiment that's coming up soon, where I've actually got a board and I've got some UV spray on it, and UV spray and resin, and see if that actually helps out the alcohol inks keep their color and stuff. So I'm real curious about that. I held it on really well. Now I wanted to show you this. I didn't do a spray seal on it, and there's a little bit of brown on my fingers and stuff where it did transfer over. So that's what I was talking about. You could easily transfer that to your background. So I recommend doing a little spray. In fact, that is not it. Where is my spray? This is the spray that I use, the archival Krylon, but I usually use the matte finish. But this is my personal preference. It works well for me. So I would give it a quick spray, wait for that to dry, then peel up this stuff, and you're set. So let me bring you in for a final close-up. And see how you can see those nice little light pale purples and pinks that were in the background. And the browns come in really nice and clean. I have to admit, I kind of like this little echo that was going on in the shape. You can even see a little bit with the heart and stuff. It gives it a little bit of a three-dimensional look to it. So that was kind of fun. Uh-oh, I missed one. Here we go. So, lots of love for you guys. Anyway, so have fun with this technique. And remember, as soon as you're done using it, make sure you put that cap on, because that cap, that little pin area will dry up pretty fast. Anyway, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but more importantly, hit that bell to get notified next time I put something up. Have fun, guys. Later.